Hey there, amazing English learners. Welcome back to another episode of the English Mastery Podcast. I'm Vey, and as always, I'm here with my co-host James. This is your favorite place for improving English through natural, real-life conversations that actually help you grow as a person, too.
Absolutely, Vey. And hey, everyone, if you're new here, welcome to our English family. We're James and Vey, and every single week we dive deep into topics that don't just improve your English skills, but also strengthen your mindset and confidence. Today's episode is, wow, it's going to be something special, isn't it, Vey?
Oh, it really is, James. Today we're talking about something that goes way beyond grammar rules and pronunciation tips. We're exploring what happens when people look you in the eye and say, you can't do it. When they tell you your English isn't good enough, or you'll never sound like a native speaker, or even, why are you even trying? But here's the fascinating part. The people who face the most doubt often become the most successful. Like, think about Oprah Winfrey, who was told she was too emotional for television, or Stephen King, whose first novel was rejected 30 times. They all heard no repeatedly, and yet, here they are, inspiring millions.
Exactly. And that's what we want to explore today, this incredible phenomenon where doubt becomes fuel instead of defeat. Because honestly, Vey, I've noticed this pattern with so many of our English learners. The students who were initially told their accents were too strong or their grammar was hopeless, they're often the ones who end up giving presentations in international companies or leading English conversation groups. It's like, there's this hidden power in being underestimated, you know?
Yes, and James, I love that you mentioned that because today we're going to reveal what we call the pressure to power principle. It's actually inspired by something we learned in physics class years ago, but we never realized it could teach us something profound about life and language learning. So picture this. When you try to push a beach ball underwater, what happens? The water pushes back, right? And the harder you push that ball down, the more forcefully it shoots back up when you let go.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. So in life, when people try to push us down with their doubts and negative comments, we can use that same pressure to rise even higher. It's like the criticism becomes our launching pad instead of our prison. That's brilliant, V. And you know what? I've experienced this personally. When I first started learning public speaking in English, someone told me my accent was distracting and I should stick to written communication. Can you imagine? That comment stung so badly, but it also lit a fire in me that I didn't even know existed.
Exactly, James. And that's the beautiful thing about the pressure to power principle. It doesn't require you to be fearless or perfect. It just requires you to decide that you won't stay down. So for our listeners who might be facing doubt right now, whether it's about your English skills, your career goals, or any dream you're pursuing, don't waste energy arguing with the doubters or trying to convince them. Instead, channel that energy into proving them wrong through your success. Let your progress become your response.
That's so powerful, Vey. And speaking of progress, let's talk about something that's crucial for English learners but often gets overlooked. Real growth, and I mean lasting, transformative growth, never happens when we're comfortable. Think about it this way. If you only practice English with people who speak slower than you, or only read books that are way below your level, are you really improving? The answer is probably not much.
Yeah, exactly. It's like going to the gym and only lifting weights that feel easy. You might feel good about yourself in the moment, but you're not building any real strength. And James, I think this is where a lot of English learners get stuck. They avoid challenging conversations because they're afraid of making mistakes. They skip the advanced grammar lessons because they seem too hard. But here's the thing. That uncomfortable feeling when you're stretching beyond your current ability, that's not a sign you should quit. That's a sign you're exactly where you need to be for growth.
Oh, yes. And you know what I tell my students? You don't have to eliminate the fear or nervousness. You just have to act despite it. Like, when I first started doing job interviews in English, my hands would literally shake and I'd stumble over words I knew perfectly well. But I kept showing up to those interviews anyway. And each time, even when I didn't get the job, I learned something new. A phrase, a way to explain my experience, or just how to breathe better when I'm nervous. The discomfort was actually my teacher.
That's such a perfect example, James. And for our listeners, I want to encourage you to start small, but start now. Maybe today you join an English conversation group online, even if your voice shakes a little. Maybe you comment on an English YouTube video, even if you're not sure about your grammar. Maybe you order your coffee in English next time you're at a cafe, even if you have to repeat yourself. Because here's what happens every single time you step into that discomfort zone. You're not just improving your English, you're building confidence, resilience, and proving to yourself that you can handle challenges.
Absolutely. And Vey, this brings us to something really important that I think every English learner needs to hear. Even when the world believes in you, even when you have supportive friends and family, there's still one voice that can hold you back more than any external critic. And that's the voice in your own head. You know what I'm talking about, right? That little voice that says, your pronunciation still isn't perfect, so why bother trying? Or, you've been studying for months and you still make mistakes. Maybe you're just not good at languages.
Oh my goodness, James. Yes, that internal critic can be absolutely brutal, can't it? And here's the tricky thing. Our minds are actually designed to keep us safe, which often means keeping us in familiar, comfortable situations. So when you're about to do something challenging, like give a presentation in English or join a conversation with native speakers, your brain starts sending all these warning signals. This is risky. You might embarrass yourself. Remember that time you mispronounced that word? It's trying to protect you, but it's actually holding you back.
Exactly. And this is why motivation alone isn't enough, Vey. Because motivation comes and goes like the weather, right? Some days you wake up feeling excited about practicing English, and other days you just want to stay in bed and watch Netflix with subtitles. We've all been there. But what you really need is what I call disciplined action, the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's like your goals are the driver of the car, but your emotions are just passengers. Don't let your feelings grab the steering wheel.
I love that analogy, James. And you know what's amazing? Every time you choose discipline over comfort, like studying English when you're tired or speaking up in a meeting when you're nervous, you're not just improving your language skills, you're actually rewiring your brain to believe that you're capable of doing hard things. It's like building a muscle, but for your willpower and confidence. And the beautiful part is, this strength you build carries over into every area of your life, not just English learning.
That's so true, Vey. And speaking of building strength gradually, I want to share something that has completely changed the game for so many of our listeners. You don't need to transform your entire life overnight. You don't need to suddenly start speaking like a news anchor or understand every single word in an advanced English podcast. The secret is much simpler and more sustainable than that. Just get 1% better every day. That's it.
Yes, the 1% principle is incredible, James. Think about it this way. If you learn just one new English phrase each day, that's 365 new phrases in a year. If you practice pronunciation for just 10 minutes daily, that's over 60 hours of focused practice in a year. If you write one paragraph in English every day, you'll have written the equivalent of a small book by the end of the year. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency and progress. And here's the magical part. These small improvements compound over time, like interest in a bank account.
And the 1% mindset works for everything, doesn't it? Your career, your relationships, your health, your confidence. It's really about showing up for yourself again and again, even when progress feels slow. Because let me tell you something, there will be days when you feel like you're not improving fast enough. Days when you think, I've been studying for 6 months and I still can't understand that British comedy show without subtitles. But that's exactly when the 1% principle becomes your best friend, because it reminds you that growth is happening, even when you can't see it immediately.
Absolutely, James. And this brings us to our final point, which I think is crucial for every English learner listening today. You don't need permission to grow. You don't need someone else to tell you, okay, now you're ready to speak English confidently, or now you're good enough to apply for that job. Because if you keep waiting for external validation, if you keep waiting for the perfect moment when you feel completely prepared, you might wait forever.
Oh, this is so important, Vey. I see this all the time. Talented, intelligent people who keep putting their dreams on hold because they're waiting for someone to give them a green light. They think they need a certificate or perfect grammar or a flawless accent before they can start pursuing opportunities. But here's the truth. You already have permission. You had it the moment you decided you wanted to improve your English. You don't need applause to keep going. You don't need likes on social media to validate your progress. This is your journey, your growth, your life.
Exactly. And to everyone listening right now, I want you to know that you're already doing something incredible. You're investing in yourself, you're learning, you're growing. That takes courage. That takes commitment. And even if no one around you fully understands your English learning journey, even if no one's cheering you on right now, please know that James and I believe in you completely. We see the effort you're putting in, and we're genuinely proud of your progress.
Yes. And as we wrap up today's conversation, I want you to take a moment to reflect on something. Maybe it's one doubt that someone planted in your mind about your English abilities. Maybe it's that internal voice that's been holding you back. Or maybe it's a dream you've been waiting to pursue until your English is perfect. Whatever it is, I want you to remember that pressure can become power, discomfort can become growth, and doubt can become your greatest motivator.
Beautiful, James. And remember, growth doesn't happen in those big, dramatic movie moments. It happens in small, quiet decisions, choosing to practice when you're tired, speaking up when you're nervous, trying again when you make a mistake. That's where the real transformation occurs. So keep showing up, keep speaking up, and remember you're doing so much better than you think you are. We'll see you next time on the English Mastery Podcast. Take care, keep growing, and never stop believing in yourself.
Until next time, this has been James.
And Vey, reminding you that your English journey is just getting started, and we're honored to be part of it. See you soon.